Yo, what's cracking with the people? What's popping? It's Rashad, it's Dave, and today we got a very special guest. I feel like we gloss over this during our daggone roundtables, but we got Big Game James, who is a former player, former Tampa Bay Buck, former Indianapolis Colt. So we appreciate you coming on the show. Big Game, welcome to PNP, bro. How's it going?
Man, what's going on, fellas? Thanks for having
Yeah, you a bit low. So I know we got to test out your mic. Yeah, but you a bit low on our side.
me. Is that better?
A little
Absolutely.
bit.
Yeah, a little bit better. Up it just a tad, just a little bit more.
If you can go higher, that'd be great.
All right, there we go. Yeah, my bad. I'm up here playing with Christmas gifts, man. So I'm trying to get stuff together.
Yeah,
all good.
my daughter just came home, so she just opened her gifts literally. I just picked her up today.
Okay. That's
So
what's up.
Yeah. So can you go any louder than that, or you good? That's as high as you can go? Because I know they're gonna say it in the chat. We got audio experts in the chat. They're gonna kill me.
yeah,
And
we
we're like,
got
"Can
we
you
got
go
we got
higher?"
all these audio engineers in the chat.
Let me get it closer. Is that better right there? Or
That's,
Yo, that's
I think
perfect.
that's better. I
Okay.
think that's better.
That's
I think
good.
better.
That's
this
good.
thing,
That's good.
trying to get it right. Man, it's been a long time since the last time I had a chance to talk with y'all, and boy, a lot has changed since then too.
A lot has changed.
And listen, man, you being a former NFL player, I got questions.
Okay.
And you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead. We're gonna go ahead and start with this
Get it
because
cracking, Dave. Go ahead with it.
Shaq Thompson had an interesting thing, and he had some comments to talk about certain players not agreeing with certain head coaches in the locker room. So I wanted to ask this question. I was very curious about this. What does losing the locker room mean?
Ooh,
And
man.
and the reason why I asked this question is because it sounds like, based on the comments that Shaq Thompson said, it sounds like there were pockets that were with rule, there were pockets that weren't. So, like, is there like a percentage count of how many people got to lose the locker room? Is it all or nothing type of situation? What does losing the locker room mean?
Usually when they hit you with that, he's about to lose the locker room.
You gotta be.
Your locker room is broken down to a group of guys. So, let's go ahead and keep it all the way 100. When I played, we all know Warren Sapp was one of those leaders in the locker room. What I'm
Yep.
saying? Basically, Derek Brooks, Hardy
Yep.
Nickerson that first year I was there. And then,
Yep.
a dissension can happen in the locker room. So, granted, a la 3 years later, when Keyshawn Johnson came in and the offense wasn't going exactly the way he wanted, you start hearing the rumbles of, man, when I played for Parcells, it was like this a little bit. It was like this a little bit. So now you get one person talking one way, one person talking another way, and some people gonna go leak stuff to the media, bro. That's just what it is what it is. Loose lips sink ships, and it happens all the time. It happened back then, it's happening now, to where all of a sudden you'll get somebody to keep talking up on it to where, like, it's just like, say Rashad is trying to convince you to like somebody on the team that you're not really fond of, but he talked to you enough about it to where you're like, damn, Rashad, right. This dude got to go. It happens like that sometime in the locker room where that riff gets to be where, majority, and then some guys can go to ownership and GMs like, hey, look, it's not working no more. We got it, y'all should think about a change. And that's kind of how that riff, it happens. It starts within, it may start small, and then if you don't win on top of it, or you see a coach that's making decisions that's just not helping you out and you putting all this work in every week, you're like, oh hell no, some got to give. We not gonna have success with this dude here. I'm about to just start a dumpster fire and set it on fire and let it go.
Yeah. We definitely saw it start to crumble, and I think the question was asked and how it was posed is like, yo, you got this man Steve Wilks, coming in, and it's the same squad, which is basically what I've been saying. All of our roundtables, I came up here and I said, yo, and I've been saying this is all of our previews. It's not a talent issue. We got the talent.
Yeah.
We have the talent. It's a coaching problem. And so now you see it. We got a new coach in here, and it flipped just like that. And these guys have bought in, bro. And it's dope to see. Because like I said, it seconds what I was saying. Like, we got the talent, and they starting to play
It's
right
dope. Now. It's dope to see, and I love being right. But damn it, damn it! like it's. I love being right.
Dave and Rashad, y'all see it. And the first and foremost, I said a long time ago, Wilks got a raw deal when he went out to Arizona. Given one,
absolutely,
1 year out there with Josh Rosen at the court. I mean, come on, man. They didn't give this brother a chance to really show what he could or couldn't do. they had an idea that Cliff Kingsbury was going to be God. They get rid of him. And it's almost a blessing that you guys had him on staff to put him in that interim role to show what he can do as a leader, right? Um, Now the thing is, he flipped that switch for those guys on the team because this is the thing: a defensive coach, he's on the staff. The guys in the defense side of the meeting room already believe in him for the most part. You know what I'm saying? They're like, man, we know what our coach what he can do. So now he gets a chance. They like, yo, let's go perform because we want him to have a chance at the end of the year. Now, is he gonna get a legit chance? We don't know. But at the same time, you can tell that there's enough people in that locker room on that roster that believe in him. They playing ball for him.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what's happening. Those guys are playing, and Derek Brown has come out on national TV. Of like, I think I speak for a locker room. We want Wilks to be the guy, and so once you get enough voices like that, it's going to be hard. This Tepper is, if he doesn't name Wilks the head coach, he's going to piss off a lot of people, not just the fans, because the fans want Wilks too, but the players too. Right. So you don't give them what they want, it's going to be nasty. So I think Wilks. And I think a lot, I would say about 75% of, probably more of the fan base would love to have the Wilks hire happen right now. Obviously, they got to go through the whole process of interviewing X, Y, Z, Rooney, right, all that stuff. They got to go through all that, so it's not going to happen just yet. But yeah, it's pretty much the writing's on the wall. Wilks, if he finishes strong, and I don't think he necessarily has to win these next two games. But if he does, it's gonna be autumn. It's hard to deny that. At that point.
It'll be impossible not to give him the job if he wins this division, and it'll be impossible not to give him Coach of the Year if he don't win this division.
Yeah. It's hard. It would be hard to go against that. I'm pulling for him. I want y'all to win, not this next one though. Y'all can win that last one.
Well, if we lose this one, bro, we're out. We're out. We got to win the next two. Like if we lose, we're like y'all have a scenario. If y'all lose on Sunday, y'all actually still have a chance to get the final wild card spot. Right, if we lose to you guys on Sunday, we're done.
Right,
we're out.
Yeah.
Then folks can start talking about a quarterback. Then they can start talking about a quarterback. But I don't want no damn quarterback talks till we're out. None.
Yeah,
I feel you.
None.
So you talked about it. Let's talk about this game. It's a big game. Like it's basically almost for the division. We played you all like not too long ago. We held y'all only 3 points, pretty dominant win, but things are a little different. I think PJ was starting back then. Now we got Sam Darnold starting. Run game that's the game that we pretty much showed the type of team we're going to be. And that's the type of team we've been since that. Like I said during that mid-season roundtable, I said we were one of the best rushing teams in the league at that time. Right now, all we doing is just dominating on the ground, bro. Oh, and our wins, we rushing it 40 times. We're averaging 200-something yards in our wins, and our losses, not so much. But when we run, when we're winning, it's because we're running the football.
Yeah, y'all possessing the clock big time. And I like Chuba Hubbard a whole lot at Oklahoma State when he was in college, and to see what he's doing along with everybody else that y'all got taking turns just popping heads. In that first game, because y'all know I talked a lot of smack at the round table at the beginning of the year. I'm the first one to be able to sit up here and admit that I was like, oh yeah, Buccaneers coming in first, and this game won't mean nothing. And when Mike Evans dropped that what would have been a touchdown, a bomb, I was like, oh, we in trouble. And then Devin White looked like he was out there playing with blindfolds on, couldn't hit the right gap, couldn't wrap up, couldn't tackle. It was just a hot mess to where not just your coach winning, but watching the Carolina Panthers play, I think it's kind of put everybody on notice that you have to take this team very serious when you come in to play them every week, or you will be walking out like, I don't know what happened. And I swear the Buccaneers went into that game that week thinking, all right, this is going to be a bounce back. We're going to get this win. No big deal. And it's like, got hit right in the face. I'm like, what the hell just happened? And it's just been that kind of season for us all year long.
Yeah, so talk to me about the injuries, though. Like, because y'all are, like, decimated, bro. Like, who's healthy? Who's not? Who do you anticipate playing? Like, who's coming back? Who's not playing? Like, what's the deal, man? Because y'all, it's not looking good.
Man, every week is a who's who. Like, you don't know what's going to happen. And like, Donovan Smith was out last week, and Wells, his backup, who's got to know all 5 spots on the offensive line, he goes out. Then we bring in a person that just got activated off a practice squad to that had to come in and play. And he made J.J. Watt look like he shouldn't announce his retirement yet. You know what I mean? Like, it was, I don't know. The list is long. All the questionables, I always go say if it's questionable, they're probably going to play. They're not ruled out yet. But, right now, Vita Vea, we need that in the middle, especially that facing that rush attack. He's not slated to be back yet. And I know the update will change again tomorrow. Today is only Tuesday, but it's like, Lord have mercy. What can we do? We haven't had a consistent offensive line the whole year. At one point in time, we had 3 people out of our secondary not starting. So it's just like, at what point are we going to get a group on the field that's played together for a certain amount of time to get any kind of chemistry going? So it's just like, you never know what to believe and see when I look at the injury report. I'm looking at it now. Cade Otton's questionable. He left in Antonio Whitfield, Anthony Nelson, Mike. I mean, it's just Carlton Davis the third. Julio Jones stays on there. It's just, and I don't like to make excuses because everyone has injuries this late in the year, going into week 17. Everyone has injuries, bro. It happens to everyone. But God, dog, the injury bug hit us with our center the first day of training camp, and it seemed like the only pickup momentum and speed as the season went on.
Yeah, y'all got a lot of guys out, bro.
Like I'm a big fantasy football guy, and my ticker has been insane with injuries. I just saw that Derrick Henry's doubtful. Yeah. And I'm like, what? So then I'm not even looking. I'm like, I ain't got Derrick Henry. Let me see if I'm playing against Derrick Henry. I'm like, yep, and yep. Okay, I'm sitting in good spots in the finals. But nah, man, it's been wild, man. Well, about our injury. It looks like J.C. Horn's likely not playing this week. So, we brought back.
JC has a broken wrist, so he's not going to play. Got surgery yesterday. And they got to reevaluate to see whether he'll be back for potentially the Saints game. We don't know. But he's going to be out. Going to be playing Keith Taylor, who struggled last time out against the Steelers. Man, he played against the Steelers, and it was like, he was like a turnstile out there. It was whoever's going up against him was eating. I think Deontay Johnson had a career day against him, and I don't even know who Deontay Johnson is, but he cooked us. So hopefully, it's going to be a tough game. So I got a question, Big Game. This is a very specific question because it's being that you played the game, right? And I watched this Arizona game, and I'm watching Tom Brady go after it, right? I went to this hurry up mode, and he just dumping it off to the running backs so quick, and letting the guys go to work in open space. If you game planning for that, like how do you? Because in one side of the brain, I'm like, I want Brian Burns to pin his ears back, go get Tom. But then at the same time, you can't do that because I gotta watch the flat. The ball will go to the flat. I'm gonna get beat. So how does a defense prepare for that, and then at the same time not get the top peel back when you worried about the flat? Like it's just a lot going on now.
It's real tough because when you think about it, the ball's coming out quick, and that's to make up for the deficit we have on the offensive line right now. I mean, we all know the ball has to come out fast. If Brady has to drop back and hold that thing for more than 2 seconds, it's going to be pressure. It's going to get batted. And these last 3 games, he looked horrible because he's had pressure in his face, and he's just back there throwing the ball like ugh. But I know a lot of the way we used to do it in the cover 2 when I played was you would have to use a defensive lineman to help pick up some of that flat coverage, that short middle coverage to spy, or we might drop it into the flat and bring the pressure from the rest of the line, stun to pick up where that gap come from with maybe a backer coming off the edge. You really got a scheme to try to get into it without opening up other problems on the defense, like you said. So, and the thing is, y'all get after the passer well, so you can do a lot of different things without really trying to have to blitz and then utilize those linebackers to help pick up those coverages and maybe play soft zones and spots because the ball's coming out and it's going to go to an area real quick. So then, that's where a zone may work better than man, and you just gotta, you go into a meeting room on a Tuesday waiting to get the game. Well, on that Monday, you're reviewing. Tuesday, you're off. Wednesday, you come in, you get that game plan to see what it's really going to look like. So I know the guys are probably real interested in seeing, hey, what y'all got drummed up for us? What are we going to do to get things done? And yeah, this is going to work. So it's, it's going to be real interesting to see how they play it. Leftwich likes to throw the long ball, which is not there and won't be there. And maybe if J.C. Horn out, maybe we take that chance a little bit more. But I think the quick game like we showed against Cincinnati early will work. But when the defense makes adjustments, we have to make adjustments too, because that's been the one thing that's been killing us. The quick game is fine, but then Cincinnati made adjustments to it. They changed up the coverage, they changed up the rush on how they played it. They took it away, and then they were able to just stuff the run and start sacking Brady like, 4 straight turnovers. I've never seen that. I mean,
Right.
in a long time, especially ever over as Brady being the leader quarterback. But they were able to do that, and just hats off to them for being able to make the good adjustments. And that's the one thing our offense hasn't been able to do all year. The game plan was solid, but the adjustments weren't made to the defense's adjustments, and that's the toughest part right there.
Yeah, it's going to be a big chess match because, again, that's going to – if you ask any Panthers fan, the biggest concern right now with no J.C. Horn, you relying on C.J. Henderson, Keith Taylor, and maybe Josh Norman in some spots because, we just signed Josh Norman again.
Oh, wow.
I don't know how much he's going to – I don't know how much he's going to play, but he just got to the team this week. So he's probably going to play a little here and there, but, we're not going to be relying on him too much. So I think what you were saying in regards to the pass rush, I think we can get after the court because our pass rush is going to be better than Arizona's, right? I feel, and so I think, yeah. So, but again, I'm still concerned because I'm not too worried about getting beat deep. I'm worried about that ball getting to Fournette and him just running because we have a problem tackling too. It's inconsistent.
Yeah.
Like it will prove well in one game. And then the next game, it's like we feeling ourselves and like, we could do it. Then the next game we come out and can't tackle nobody. So that's my biggest concern, man, from stopping Tom Brady. From our offense, I mean, listen, I think we can run on anybody. I'm not afraid of nobody. Like y'all got Vita Vea, right? But Vita was there the last game, and we put up $175 on y'all. Yeah. Without him, I think it's gonna be real tough, bro.
And Vita hadn't played the last 2 weeks, and we're hoping to have him back this week. But I mean, you look at what we're doing on defense, trying to make it happen with the guys that we have. And no knock to anybody, but Rakeem Nunez Roches he's had to step up and make plays, which he's doing it. But he's a spot field guy. He's not used to being 80% of the plays on defense kind of guy. And then our defensive ends getting banged up. The kid that came over from the Raiders and everybody. I mean, as soon as we get somebody going, somebody else gets hurt. Right. Vea and Hicks have to be solid in the middle. Like you said, y'all pounded the rock last time with him in the game, but I think a lot of that too was linebacker play was off. Levante David and Devin White were off that game, and they feel. I mean, I went back and actually I found a Panther cut up after that game where they showed end zone copies of the run, like I was in the film session, and I'd never seen over pursued or D lineman. You got A gap, but yet you reaching and peeking back to a backside B gap and just opening up 2 lanes for a cutback lane. It's just like, what the hell is going on? Like, what did y'all work on all week? Like, you had guys out there doing their own thing. So, I really want to see if they can play disciplined football this time because it was so many busted plays that first game. And not to take away, from you guys' run game or anything else, but I got to believe if we just play halfway better on our assignment football, it puts us in positions to keep those 30-yard gains to 3 to 4 yard gains.
Yeah, and that's
one thing I will say, because when we went into the Steelers game, because our run game wasn't that exotic in the Steelers game, and we got stuffed something vicious.
Yeah,
and then the Detroit game, we did more counters, we did more exotic run plays. And we were able to gas it for over 300 yards. So I never thought I could say that our run game matured over a week, but it looked like it did. So it's going to be interesting to see what we do this week against you guys.
Yeah. Well, you find what works, and that's what I like about a good coach. You watch opponent's film, you see what other teams have success doing, or you see what that defense is weak against. You go, hey, I know we haven't run this since maybe week 3, but let's go back to the counter. Let's go back to the counter OT where you might bring a full. I mean, you do different things to make it work, and good coaches find ways to make those changes and evaluate those plays. And, the thing that I've been catching a lot of hell because I talked bad about our coaching staff in one of my shorts this week. Like, man, how you giving up on everybody? I said, I'm not giving up on anything. I said, I'm just calling what I see because I don't like see adjustments being made.
Let me tell you something, bro. One thing you'll learn in these podcast streets, man. Even if you give them data, they don't want to hear it.
Yeah, we know, bro. Listen, they kill us for keeping it real.
My partner got attacked by DJ Moore off data.
Man,
Off data.
No, I got attacked for you though. No, I got attacked for what Dave said. I took a straight for Dave. So it wasn't attacking directed at me. It was attacking that should have been directed at you that I got attacked for. But anyway,
we a team.
We are
all for one, one for all.
It'd be like that. But yeah, but yeah. So going back to and he said what I was gonna say is that when Pittsburgh stopped us, they was putting 8-9 dudes in the box, and like we just kept running right up the gut. There was no diversity in our run game. Detroit, on the other hand, bro, I don't know what in the world happened. Like it looked like a completely different team out there. They went out there and just went nuts. Like it was all kind of, it was counter plays. It was sweep this way up the middle. We were just feasting. It was all kind of great runs out there. So it's going to be interesting to see how we can duplicate that. Are we going to do something different? We're going to come out and try to do the same thing. Because if you all do stop the run, my biggest question is, can we win it off of Sam Darnold's arm? Because I know we talk about your defense, but your secondary is still straight. Your secondary is decent.
Yeah, right? Mel Dean, all those guys. We're good back there. So we want to force you guys into having to throw the ball and let Sam Darnold be the one to do it, right? Don't know if it's going to happen. And one thing I was going to say, as a defensive lineman, when that offensive line got going and got mojo and momentum running the ball, and you on the defensive side of the ball and you can't stop the run and it's coming, man, it's deflating. It take a whole nother part. I mean, it take part of your life, your soul out. You just like, all right, man, let's go. We're gonna try to get off the ball. I mean, call something different. You can call sometimes.
Can't you give us a play action, something?
Wilks said the same thing. He said it's demoralizing when you know they're gonna run the football and they just can't stop it. And that's what happened with the Lions. That's what's been happening with a lot of teams that we face. Is like, we run the ball so well that they just can't stop it. And what happens is when the run is not working against against AFC North teams, every AFC North team stopped the run, bro. And we just got beat. They swept us. Every AFC North team beat us because they were physical.
My theory, that was my theory. I was like we as a team is more physical than most of the teams in the NFL except the AFC North.
The AFC North.
We're not more physical than the AFC North. We've come to that conclusion because they bodied us. The closest game was us against Baltimore. It wasn't close against Pittsburgh. It wasn't damn sure it wasn't close against Cincinnati. Freaking Joe Mixon was out here, lost his mind. And then Rule was there for Cleveland. So we knew it wasn't going to be close against them. And then, what was the other one? What was the other one? No, I said Browns because Rule was the coach then. And then Baltimore was close. Yeah, that was it. That was the four. That was the four. I named all four.
Yeah, so, not good. So again, I think it's a different mindset. I think they really got punked in the Pittsburgh game. Now they got this whole ski mask energy in the offensive line. They really taking it to the defensive lines on the opposite team, and it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to watch, see what we can do, because if we can get the run game going, like I said, in our W's, 40 plus rushes, 200 and some 20 yards on the ground. That's what we're doing in our W's. In our L's, not so much.
Man, you know how hard that is for your offense to just sit there on the sideline looking like, please get me back on the field.
Yeah.
Please get me back. And that's the good thing about a great running game. And I'm kind of still old school like that. I want to pound the ball first and then open it up with play action pass if I can, because I want to help possess the clock to keep my defense off the field as much as possible so they can be fresh when they are out there. And, I had people like, man, we can't do this. We can't do that. I said, dude, the defense been on the field the whole second half. Like, we looked great the first half against Cincinnati. And all of a sudden, it's just like, whoa, what happened? But they never 4 straight turnovers to where your defense is constantly back to back to back. I don't give a damn how much conditioning and running you do. You're not in that kind of shape to be able to sustain that many possessions in a row on defense. And again, the game was just set up to where you exert way more on defense than you do on offense. That's just the way it is.
Yeah, and I think the game plan is simple, right? Because, we want to keep time off the field. So they're going to try to, milk that clock and just run the clock down. And that's what we've been doing. I This game is gonna be tough, bro. It's gonna be a tough game. It's gonna be a tough physical game. It's a lot on the line, especially for us. Y'all not so much. Y'all can still win a division with a loss.
Yeah, we can still win.
No, they can make the wild card too with the loss.
Bad. Yeah,
and
we can
lose.
We can lose, beat Atlanta. Then if we had help from y'all the last week, then we get the division. If not, we can still jump in as one of those wild card teams. This is a game, and I said this on Sunday. I was like, this is the game that I do not want to pick or just tell somebody what I think is going to happen, because I don't. And like I told my Buccaneer faithful that follow me, I'm like, look, guys, I'm not saying I give up on the Bucs or I don't believe in the Buccaneers. I'm just, off of the last 5 games I watched, going 2-3 of those, the way we lost those games, and then the wins we got against the teams we beat, it didn't prove or show anything. We were supposed, Arizona was 4-10 with a third-string quarterback. We had to come back and get the game to overtime, right? Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's not like, it's not like Brady's going to turn it on in the playoffs. Did you see Brady underthrow the ball these last 5 games, looking like he looks like an old Tom Brady some possessions now? Something
he's
that
done,
I thought I would.
No, he's done. No, he's done. I think he's done.
And Rashad, I think the arm is gone. I mean, you just watch some of the plays. Even against San Francisco one time, Julio ran a nice route, got open, and the ball just sails, and it's about 3 yards short and way in front. I'm just like, who is he throwing it to? But and then they're like, well, he had pressure. I'm like, no, he didn't. He stepped up in the pocket. The pressure was outside of him, and he just threw the ball short. Like, yeah, we know the Lions beat up, but it's sometimes they put him in position to where 1-2 ball come out, it's got to be there, and he's overthrown because he doesn't have the touch that he's had, I think, in the past, and that's why it's either been way long or it's been short, because it's just Father Time is undefeated. We all know that.
Never lost.
Father Time has never lost at all yet, and it just looked like it's finally catching up to what Brady was used to doing and able to do all the time, to where the things that I think a lot of fans take for granted, it's a special touch and skill that you have to put on that ball to get it there. Not saying mentally he knows what to do. He knows how to do it. Physically, his body's not letting him do it.
Jordan said it best when he was talking about could he beat everybody in his 50s. He was like, mentally, hell yeah, I'll destroy all these guys. Physically is the problem. It ain't the same no more.
Right.
Father Time's undefeated. He's done. He's done, man. And the thing is, he's had a phenomenal career, and he could crawl into the playoffs, but he risked a lot he risked a lot coming back to you guys this year. Cost him his marriage.
Yeah, but I ain't gonna speculate on that, because if it was that rocky to start, it was probably gonna end regardless if he was at home or at the facility. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's true. No, that's true.
The Tom Brady divorce final, and they got her walking down the street with the trainer the next week. I mean, it didn't just happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but you're right. He risked a lot. He came back. We thought that. think about 2 years, almost 3 years removed now from a Super Bowl, thinking, oh, we got pieces in place. But over time it changes.
But you gotta have everything.
Yeah, all the pieces.
Remember, that's the reason why he went to Tampa in the first place. He didn't stay in New England because they ain't have enough for him.
Exactly. It was a calculated move. He knew what he was doing, and he looked great doing it. Even last year, getting to a divisional game and losing, yeah. But now it's, ooh, boy.
Hold on, I gotta get to a couple super chats. They saying I missed some super chats real quick. Just Bobby been donating mad super chats, but he said Bucks.
Because he out here want to talk about you, man.
That's the super chat. Just Bobby comes back and says, "Humble yourself, brother." I think he's talking. These are old, so they might be a little out of context. But he said, Bobby said we broke Brady that day. We was talking about in regards to the last game.
Mm-hmm.
So my bad. My bad, just Bobby. That's all we got so far.
So let's talk about the coaching staff, man. Because do you think Bowles and Leftwich are in trouble if they don't make the playoffs this year?
I hope not. I hope not too, Dave. But this is my thing. If y'all get a chance, if there's any Buccaneer fans peeking in here, go check out Who's to Blame on Big Game Sports Buzz, man. I just dropped a short. Want to know who should we point the finger at? Is it Leftwich? Is it Bowles? Is it Brady? Or is it just the injuries and just the circumstances of this season, right? This is the thing. If Todd Bowles, with his personality, was winning right now, no one would have a problem with, like, oh my God, he's so cool, he's so laid back. He's just like Tony Dungy. he would get that. But because they're struggling and he's too laid back, I've got so many like, oh, he's soft. Oh, he doesn't have control of the team and he doesn't yell enough. Yelling doesn't necessarily mean you know what you're doing when it comes to coaching. Now, what I did say is some of the same tendencies and traits that we saw when he was in New York, I feel like I'm seeing now where changes aren't made. And I don't know if Todd Bowles is the guy that's like, you know what, this coach isn't getting it done. I got to make a change right now during the season. I just don't think he's that guy. I think he's going to play it out, let it get to the end, and he'll make a change at the end of the season. Byron Leftwich, on the other hand, how was it 3 years ago this guy was supposed to be one of the hottest names in the NFL and should have a coaching job, to now every Tampa Bay Buccaneer fan saying that he's stupid, incompetent, and doesn't deserve a job. So this is when things are going great, they love you. When things are going bad, they hate you. Byron Leftwich needs to change up some of the play calling, but at the same time, we've had this conversation before, guys. How much input is Tom Brady having on these play calls opposed to Byron Leftwich really running what he wants to run? Under Arians, I believe it was a different reign, a different control of what he did, would and wouldn't do, and what he would call. Now, under with him being gone and Brady being, I'm coming back for this. This is what I want. Who knows what's really calling what? I'm not going to sit up and putting the finger on anyone yet. I think with circumstances and injuries has played a big part of why we're stinking it up right now. But I do think that, Brady's not the Brady we had 2 years ago when he first got to Tampa from New England when we won the Super Bowl. He's a different Tom Brady now, and you can see it when he's throwing the ball. I hope and pray that you let these guys be judged off of a somewhat more healthy season with, more of their regular roster and not playing with third-string tackles or anything else when it comes down to it. Let's see what they can do with a healthy roster.
Yeah, shout out to Chris with the super chat. He says, if the Saints lose to Philly and the Bucs lose the last 2 games, we can still lose at the Saints and win the South. I don't know if that's true.
I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that scenario.
I don't know.
I think if we beat the Bucs, we will be tied with you guys at 7-9.
But have the head-to-head because y'all.
We would have the head-to-head. If you guys lose again, y'all would be 7-10. If we lose again, we would be 7-10. We would win the division. That is correct.
Yeah, that is.
But that would take a lot. That would take a lot.
And
but I know this for a fact. If we lose to you guys on Sunday, we're out. We're done.
Right. We're going to get one of these next 2. I think I got to believe that because I believe the Atlanta Falcons already got their stuff packed in U-Hauls and got their plane tickets bought.
Yeah, big.
Oh yeah, there's a couple teams that are sitting there like that. The Raiders are sitting like that too, out here bringing out Jarrett Stidham.
Another super chat says, can J-No help lock up these wide receivers that he knows well? The answer is probably not. Not full time anyway. Appreciate that super chat, but bro, Wilks was just saying
about to see Norman versus Julio, man. One more time.
One last time, right? Well, I saw that meme that had
6 versus 6.
Nah. It had Michael Jordan and in a Wizards jersey and Karl Malone in a Lakers jersey, something like that. Talking about one last go. Talking about this Julio and Josh Norman. Yeah, them dudes old, man. But yeah, Josh Norman ain't locking up. No, he not. Josh Norman was signed for depth, bro. Keith Taylor's getting a star. He's gonna play. You will see Josh Norman out there occasionally, bro. He might make a stop or two, but he's not locking nobody. Man, Wilks was just talking about how he's not even in game shape yet. Like he's not even ready to go yet, bro. So just everybody relax. We already talked about this on Monday.
He might be in here. He might be in here for like 4 or 5 snaps. No more than 10 tops.
Yeah, he not gonna
be that. It ain't gonna be nothing. Yo, Cass is talking about, he gonna start. He gonna start. No, the heck he's not.
Starting, bro. Please start him. Please.
No,
absolutely not. And that's no disrespect to Josh, because I want Josh on the show. Josh, if you're watching, because I know you guys watch. You can put a front all you want. We know y'all watch. If you're watching, we want you on the show, because we got questions. Come to us before you come to Joe Person. All right, come to us before you come to Joe Person.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good game though. Gonna be a good game. Dave, you got any other topics? Oh, let me just say this. This is a public statement in regards to this game and Panther Nation, right? Because we kind of talked about this with the coaching staff in Tampa Bay. Look across the NFC South, right? everybody's in turmoil, right? Everybody's got some. Listen. I watched a couple of Big Q stream. I ain't never seen Big Q scream as much he screamed watching the bro. Everybody's in turmoil, bro. And we are playing the best football there is in NFC South right now. We might not win this game, right? We may or may not win this game, but it's okay. The trajectory that the Carolina Panthers are on, and I've been saying this since the last round table, is going the right direction, bro. We go in the right direction. So win or lose, bro. We gonna be all right. Going further down, next year and years after that, we gonna be fine, bro. Everybody else is in turmoil, bro. Arthur Smith, they don't know they're gonna keep him. Tampa trying to fire all their coaches.
Right.
Saints, they might get rid of Dennis Allen. We're good. So everybody just relax. This game, I know we want to win. I know we want to go to the playoffs, but none of us expected this, bro.
Right now, a foundation in place.
Exactly.
You're right.
Exactly. Nobody right now expected this here scenario. Week 17, the Carolina Panthers playing meaningful football.
Let me tell you something, man. When Matt Rule got out of here, all I kept hearing was Bryce Young, CJ Stroud. And as the weeks kept going, I kept hearing it. And then it changed to Will Levis. And now it's finally gotten quiet. It's not fully quiet, but it's silent. It's almost silent, which says a lot. I got folks who gave me heat during the halftime spaces that I do at halftime with Keep Blitzing, with Carolina Blitz and those gals. And now I have folks apologizing to me at the last space because how we were dominating Detroit. It got to that point. So it's just, I'm happy to be where we're at. This owner hasn't seen a playoff berth. This owner, since he's taken over the team, has not been in the playoffs. He's never been this far in the season to have a shot to be in the playoffs. Normally around December, we're done in Tepper's eyes. And now he has a legitimate shot to make the postseason and win the division to boot. Right. And I might potentially have a home playoff game. So let's ride it, man.
Just real quick, Leslie is right though. I don't want to have my heart broken on Sunday. So I'm guarding myself. So this is part of.
No, I ain't guarding nothing. We're gonna beat y'all.
That is part of it. That is part of it. But but everything I said is facts. But it's kind of true. But yeah, shout out.
Yo, you hold your heart. You are. You holding on. You concerned. You concerned. Because the thing is, if we lose, it's over. We should be concerned. We should be concerned because, I'm not worried about the fact that even if we start slow, I have faith that we'll adjust. Like we have an NFL coaching staff, so I have faith that we'll adjust. Now, whether or not it'll work will be a different discussion, but I have faith that we'll adjust. Previous coaching staff, if we adjusted, I would be very concerned. I think the game would be over because they wouldn't adjust. So I think we got a shot to win this game, man. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
You have the formula to be able to do it. You beat us early in the year, right? So that should make a believer out of you. But at the same time, I'm believing we averaging 17.7 points a game. We haven't scored over 20 points, I think, since Lord Jesus, I can't even count back that far, in the weeks. Man. It's been a minute, right? So and you never
last week, Arizona, they got 19 points.
19 the field goal 20. Yeah, but that don't even count, bro. I mean,
it was the Seahawks.
Oh yeah, I'm talking about really scoring on offense and getting in the red zone, taking advantage of things. But I gotta believe that we can't play worse than what we've been playing because we haven't been doing a whole lot. The numbers look inflated for Brady because he's throwing the ball over almost 50 times a game, and they're short, quick routes. So it's still like, but he's like, somebody said he's ranked 10th in passing. But hell, if you throw the ball 50 plus times a game, you will be. We're only averaging 77 yards a game rushing.
Yeah, I saw that.
That's horrible. So I gotta believe if we can just protect, slow that D-line down, keep the quick passing game going. Our defense stop y'all. Like I said, play better assignment football this week. It'll help the outcome change and give us, little mo, hopefully going to the playoffs.
Yeah, man. So you say you didn't want to give a prediction. That's still holding?
I can give a prediction.
Go ahead, man. We want to hear what you think, man. What you think?
At the same time. Yeah. I've been going back and forth on this because one show I said that the Buccaneers were going to lose, but I'm not going to say that again because I'm about to get the cannon ripped off my chest and they're not going to let me back in nothing. So lo and behold, I think the Buccaneers squeaked this game out at home. 21. We get 21. We're going to finally get over 19 before having to get into overtime. 21-17.
21-17. Dave, what you got?
It's not going to be a 21-3 affair. I think it's hard to beat a team twice. So I think this game is going to be closer. The line opened this game up at 5.5 points, which was, as Bucks being a favorite, which was kind of very disrespectful. But I think the Panthers are going to win this game by, I'll say by 6. So I think it's going to be like a 24-20. Now, I'll say 24-19. 24-19. I think we'll give up like a touchdown at some point during the game. I think we're going to figure out the short pass game of Brady. I think we're going to be able to make sure that he doesn't have enough time to take any risks down the field, be able to throw the ball down the field, and get to him. We just got to get to him, man. If we get to him, my thing is this with Brady, and he's always been this way in his whole career, whether he was in his 20s, his 30s, or his 40s. If you get to his face early, it's a long day. So if we can just get to his face early, it's going to be a long day for him. Long day for him.
Yeah, yeah. For me, I think it's a good scenario for the Panthers to be in. I think we are going to win the game. I'm rolling with it. The score, man. I'm gonna go 20, like 24-20, something like that. I think it will be close. Because Brady always brings it back to where it's gonna be. I know the last time we kind of handled it, but I don't think it's gonna be that close or that big of a beatdown this time around. It's not gonna happen. So I'm gonna go 24-20 Carolina. I think we'll be able to get the run game going with if Vita Vea is not playing. I don't know how and I know you talked about the linebacker play is important. That is, you're right. You got two good ones in Levante and White. But I just feel like if Vita Vea is not playing, I just think it's gonna be a long. We were mauling cats against the line, like we were throwing dudes around, and I just feel like, and I saw what James Conner did, right? And shout out to James Conner, he all right. But I just feel like with this tandem we got, bro, I think it's going to be too much. And once we get the run game going, it's going to be hard to stop. And I do think Sam Darnold would do just enough because people sleeping on him. We ran for 320 last game, but Sam also had 250 in the air. So like I think he's doing enough, and he's not turning the football over, right? I know y'all
has not had a turnover since he's been the starter this year. I'm telling you, man, all that man had to do was grow a damn beard, and all of a sudden he's become an average quarterback.
An average quarterback. Mel Dean doing this.
Uh-oh.
I want to see that sword go down because our secondary, I think, is better than Detroit's. We got to slow the run down or to force you throw the ball. So if we can't stop the run, and Rashad, you're right. If Vita Vea's out, I can come on next week and tell you why I was wrong about that score because that's my prediction is me hoping that he's back, which he's supposed to be this week. And we need that body in the middle. We need consistent play up front for sure.
Yeah, y'all need him back bad. And I think y'all getting Winfield back, right? I think he's
supposed to be back this week.
Yeah, so that secondary is tough, but they got a really good secondary. So you're right. Sam was throwing the football in some tight windows. I believe y'all secondary is much better than the Lions. So it's going to be interesting. Can Sam not turn the football over? Because I do think if Sam turns the football over, I think it'll come in bunches, right? It won't just be one. I think he'll start to panic because he hasn't done it yet this year. Like he's done a great job when he started. And once it starts getting to him, I think it's mental for Sam. So far, as long as that run game, and like you said, if that run game gets stopped and we start to put it into Sam's hands, we'll see. It changes the game a lot.
As long as Sam has it, like you said, as long as Sam has a good run game and Sam has a clean pocket, I think we're going to be okay. Now, if you get to Sam's ass, if Sam doesn't have confidence that his pocket's going to stay clean, that's when it could get ugly. For the most part this season, he's had a pretty damn clean pocket. This is probably the best offensive line he's ever played in his career. And that says a lot.
Right.
So, and I think that's made a tremendous difference into how well Sam has played this year. Yeah. And I think that's why there's so many Panthers fans that are scared of him coming back on this roster next season. But y'all better be ready because he's going to be on this roster next season.
Sam playing all right, man. Sam, we gonna talk about that's a whole nother topic about Sam coming back.
That's a whole nother episode
next year. But But yeah, man. So
before we close out, I got one non-NFL. Well, it's kind of NFL-ish, but I got one question for you, man.
What's going on?
Ed Reed.
The head coach of Bethune-Cookman now.
Yes. What are your thoughts?
Man, I'm about to do a story on it too. So funny you said that. But I believe we know what kind of passion Ed Reed brings to the game, right? We know his intensity, his love for the game, his knowledge of the game. How's it going to transfer over to the coaching side and bringing in the right staff to be able to help recruit, get people into Bethune? I believe some HBCUs, I'm going to call it the Dion Sanders effect. Prime time when the Jackson State changed things. So I think you're going to see a lot of former NFL coaches be targeted and be reached out to see if they can come in and have the same impact that prime time had on Jackson State.
Yeah, it's funny. We're gonna do we typically do a straight up spaces on Wednesdays, but we're moving it to tomorrow. Mm-hmm. And the big thing that I wanted to emphasize about the biggest difference between Ed Reed and Dion Sanders in this situation is Ed Reed has coaching experience. He coached in the NFL, and he was I think he was like I forgot what his position was in Miami for 4 years. So he has a little bit more. He has more experience than what Dion had walking into the job. So I think there's going to be a different level of. I think he's going to be able to walk in and do really well. I think Bethune-Cookman's got a completely different set of challenges that Jackson State has. So I'm hoping that Ed Reed has the patience, and I'm pretty sure he does. He's got a different demeanor than Dion from that standpoint. Yeah. So I'm hoping that he has the patience to work through it because Bethune's got a different set of challenges, man. A whole different set of challenges than what Jackson State has. But I'm happy for him, and I hope he kills it. I hope he kills it down there. I really do.
I do too, man. I wish him put the best on that.
Yeah, I hope he does. I really do. Because Bethune needs it. Bethune's enrollment's been falling, so I think this is not just going to help the football program. It's also going to help the university from an enrollment standpoint and things of that sort, too. Gotcha. So, I'm happy. I was thrilled when I heard. And I'm not a prime hater.
I think you are a prime hater. This is exactly what I said. This is exactly what I said was going to happen. When Dion left, I told you the seed has been planted, bro. All these cats about to start coming back and coach HBCUs.
It's more to it though.
The whole point was.
It's also about opportunity. It's also about opportunity. A lot of these guys aren't getting opportunity either.
Right.
And that's another factor too.
Yep.
What you mean?
Because Dion Sanders is the first head coach to go from an HBCU to a Power 5 job. And there's only been 2 head coaches total that have gone from an HBCU to an FBF job, period. And the other guy was white, and he coached at Alcorn. My point is that there's a lot. Some of these African American head coaches don't get some of the opportunities to be a coordinator in certain spots, to be a head coach in certain spots. So some feel like that is their pocket to get in, to have that opportunity to get those chances and to be a head coach. That's my point. That's the reality of it.
I think you're moving the goalposts because
I'm not.
You were a hater.
No, I was not a hater.
And I said
my issue with Prime when he left was this. My issue with Prime was that he said he was going to fix all the HBCUs and he was gonna glorify and even the playing field. Huh? That's what he said. He said he was gonna even the playing field. And you can't do that in 3 years.
You can, but he did a lot because he put the focus and attention that HBCUs have not been receiving at all over the past 3 years that he's been there. You know what I mean? Like I grew up in a household and with family members that attended HBCUs, going to homecomings, going to games, knowing the importance of it. But at the same time, when I got a scholarship offer, I ran off to a D1 school in a heartbeat and didn't give it a second thought until I got older. I think Prime changed the mindset of a lot of guys in school to a point where it's like, wait a minute, I don't have to rush away. I can hear these HBCUs out. I can give them a chance. Yep. And I think he did what he's supposed to do. He left it better than he found it. And now all these other coaches got to get together, work together, and build on it. Because like Rashad said, he put the seat down there.
Yeah,
no, I'm not saying he didn't do anything. I don't think people were mad that he left. I think people were mad about the execution of
You
when
were
he
mad.
left, of the exit. No. It was the exit. It was the exit. It was the execution of the exit. I think because I said he wasn't gonna be there 3 years, and I got attacked when I said it. When I knew she got hired.
People got mad at you. Huh?
They got pissed because they thought he was gonna be there for 10 years, and I'm like, that ain't how head coaches work in this day and age.
And I think
it was going to be a 3-year thing.
Yeah, he had a plan coming in because the thing is,
absolutely.
I live in a part of Texas where Dion, not far lived where he was coaching his son in high school and everything else. So I think coaches always been on his radar, but because he only coached at a high school level, between doing all this other stuff, the only opportunity he had was to go to a HBCU to show that to see if he was even capable of having success. And he did that. So I just think that it sped up the plan that he had. I think it may have been maybe a 4 or 5 year plan at Jackson State, then build on it. But then next thing you know, damn, if it just got fast forwarded because of the success he had.
Oh, absolutely. Now, but so Brian, just an FYI for you, sir. FCS is Division 1. Division 1 is split into 2 pieces: FCS and FBS. Yeah. And Jackson State, Bethune-Cookman, they're all in the SWAC. That's FCS. At some point, somebody's going to make FBS. I mean, a few HBCUs have tried. They just couldn't make it. They couldn't survive. I think 2 have tried.
I think Grambling could have done it a long time ago if they would have followed the success.
Could have did it.
Yeah, Grambling absolutely could have. Grambling could have. I know Tennessee State tried. FAMU tried when we were still students, Rashad. FAMU tried.
Oh, for real?
They tried, but but the thing what happened with FAMU was, and that's funny because the coach now at FAMU was supposed to transfer to FAMU around that same time, but then they made the attempt to go FBS as an independent. And back then, you couldn't transfer, because he was playing for Clemson, if I remember correctly. You couldn't transfer from Clemson to go to another FBS school without sitting out a year. So he ended up going to the Citadel instead of going to FAMU because he was FBS. Because now FAMU was trying to go to FBS instead of FCS anymore. So, but yeah, they tried. They had like 1,000 violations, and then they ended up back in the MEAC. Yeah, it's not because it takes money and it takes a lot. But that's good. That was a good discussion. I'm rooting for Ed, man. I hope he does well.
Shout out to Ed Reed, man. The seed was planted. Hopefully, hell, we need a coach at A&T. I think we should get like Jerry Rice or something. Maybe somebody should come back and come coach A&T.
Nah, Jerry Rice ain't coming back. Right now.
I'm joking. It was a joke. It was a joke.
I got some names though. I got some names. We're gonna announce one by the 4th. We'll know by the 4th.
Right. All right, so big game. Where can the people find your stuff, man? I know Grandize has been dropping some links in our chat, but where can let the people know where they can find your stuff?
Yeah, I mean, y'all can follow me on Twitter. It's at jcan97 or at BG Sports Buzz. Also on YouTube, it's a Big Game Sports Buzz, and BG Entertainment is the other one. We got 2 shows that we run every week: Big Game Sports Buzz, the Sports Chop Shop, and then my co-host runs the Cowboys Cutting Up the Dallas Cowboys show, something I refuse to participate in because I just can't give Dallas no love at all.
Don't worry, bro. We're gonna beat them. We're gonna beat them for your first week wild card. We're gonna take care of it for you. Don't worry.
Y'all ain't gonna play on first round wild card because that's gonna be us. I appreciate that though. Dave, good looking out, man.
He caught it too. He thought you was gonna slide that one in there. He caught you, bro. That.
But yeah, man, I'm out there just trying to drop brand new content, keep everything on all sports, and then my Buccaneers pewter perspective. I drop about 2 of those a week on the Big Game Sports Buzz channel, man, on YouTube.
Yeah, man, shout out to Big Games. Real quick, shout out to Kendrick. Says crazy. Foreman is 189 yards rushing.
That's
away from 1,000. Yeah, which is crazy. If I think we extrapolated the numbers, bro. If he would have started from week 1, he would have had like almost 1,500 yards rushing, which is crazy.
Damn,
crazy. Yeah, because technically he didn't play. He didn't really play full time till game 6.
He didn't play till week 6.
Yeah, and he run that thing, man. Like what?
Yeah, it's crazy.
We gotta put our big boy pants on this week. It's all good though. It's all good.
It's gonna be good watch. It's gonna be fun. We will be live streaming that game. So if you want to watch Dave and I cut it up, probably gonna be a little drinking involved. So you never know what's gonna be said. But yeah, we're on live stream during that joint. So yeah, come through. Like, subscribe, notification bell, all that stuff, man. Appreciate y'all coming through, watching this preview. It's gonna be a great game. NFC South on the line for the most part. It's gonna be a great game. And May the best team win. I told our viewers that big game that if we win the South, that next round table, bro, I'm about to be talking my shit, man.
There you go. You know, Rashad, I'll be the first to say it. You said I'm gonna save it. We're gonna wait and see. This is what I think. And like I said, I took off. I'm like, oh man, we got Tom Brady. We got blah 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 coming back. Man, yeah, we the best team in the South. Now I will say this too. The NFC South as a whole, like you referenced earlier, got everybody squirming and screaming. Big Q going crazy. Big Low probably got a drinking problem right now.
He
know what I'm saying?
On that shine.
It's somebody from this division can win it with a losing record. It's just like, in the words of Low, what the hell, Bo? Really?
What in the world, Bo?
Yeah. So the South is.
It wouldn't be the first time.
Wouldn't be the first time. Yeah,
that's true.
It won't be the first time. So. And hey, look at it this way: the last time somebody in the NFC South won a division with a losing record, they won a playoff game.
Well, let's hope Tampa Bay can follow suit for y'all.
We just gotta run it back. We just gotta run it back,
man. You know, we went from 7-8-1 to 15-1, baby, in the Super Bowl. What do you want? You know.
But all right, let's close this thing down, man. We're getting up out of here. Big game. Once again, appreciate you. Spending an hour with us, man. Like I said, we were trying to get down in 45 minutes, but then Dave started running his mouth.
It's all good.
I get blamed for everything. You know, I gotta ask him.
But all right, man. Hey, we gonna holler at y'all, man. Peace out. See y'all on Sunday, man. Happy New Year. All that. Stay safe.
Happy New Year to everybody.
Drink, stay at the house, or get a DD, get an Uber, something like that, man. Stay safe. All right, we'll holler at y'all. We out. Peace.